Hi everybody, welcome to Colorado. We are on our annual ski trip and we thought we'd take a break tonight to stamp with you like we always do on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'm always here with my sweet husband Steve.
Hi everybody.
Well, we are glad to see you. Sometimes we do record the video ahead of time, but we wanted to do this one live. And we're excited. Steve, who's here tonight?
So far we've got Pat and Linda and Bev and more people joining.
The regulars are all here. We're so happy you're here. Tonight we're going to make a really easy card since we're here and I didn't bring a lot of supplies. It's a designer series paper card that flips open like this. So you want your designer series paper to coordinate on both sides, which a lot of them do. But that's what we're going to make. I'll show you everything we used, and I have a couple versions to show you. And I also want to show you the card I got in the mail. But I'm going to wait and see if she gets on before I show you. But we came out to Colorado, what day? On Friday. And Steve and I drive to Texas a lot, and we did our camper van adventure last year.
So we're used to driving
Yes.
long distances.
So I want you to guess in the chat. We left Des Moines, Iowa at 6:30 Friday morning.
AM.
And it's how many hours to get to Loveland without stops?
9.5 hours driving.
9.5 hours without stops or with stops?
Without stops.
Okay. So how long do you think it took us? We actually had food in the car, and I'll tell you we had to get gas twice. But what do you think, Steve?
We'll see what they guess.
Yeah. Who
So
else is on?
Janice is on from Michigan.
Oh, welcome. Janice, have you been on before?
She's been on before, but not very often.
Well, we're glad you're here tonight, and I hope you keep coming back. The videos at home are a little more extensive than what we're showing tonight. But do you have any ski
I do have ski stories.
Last year on this trip, I tore my ACL big time, and I had surgery in June. So I am enjoying the snow and the view, but not skiing. But
So
what have you been doing?
I skied yesterday with my daughter-in-law, Amy, and Sean, my son, and Ryan, my son, were skiing together for most of the day. And we had a very good day on the slopes. There was a little bit of snow, loose snow on top, which makes it a little bit more challenging. But we really enjoyed it. It wasn't too cold. Nobody got very cold. It was a little bit windy coming up the lifts. As you can imagine, you get in that open air part.
Yeah, wasn't it about 16 degrees?
Yes.
And Bree is here, Ryan's wife, Bree, and she took an all-day snowboarding lesson.
And she's telling us
she's
all
our
about
first snowboarder.
She's telling us all about what it's like to snowboard. So that's interesting. So we have several more people join us. Beth and Joyce and Wendy and Marlene.
Hi, everybody.
So,
Well, should we get started? I'll tell you what I used for this card. Actually, I'm going to tell you where it came from first. I love to send and receive cards, and I got this beautiful card in the mail. We went up to Minneapolis for my knee appointment for the ACL from the last ski trip, and we had lunch with Kathy Ost and her wonderful husband, and she sent me this card, and it's so cute, and I haven't made this version of a designer series paper card. So I went right to work and I did almost the same thing. This paper that she used and that I used is Flowers and More. It's the host paper in the spring mini catalog. And I use this one, the Tahitian Tide. You know, I love the bright and happy colors. And then I popped up my thank you. I did that on the stitch. Here, I'll just show you everything. So the thank you comes from Something Fancy. This is in the spring mini catalog. From the Easter Bunny set, I did the butterflies that are inside the card and also on the envelopes. I think you can see it here. That came from the Easter Bunny set. That little bird would be cute, and these flowers too. There's lots of things you can do with this Easter Bunny set besides Easter bunnies. Then my Tahitian Tide circle is the fourth largest of the scalloped. This is from the layering circle die set. And then my thank you is cut out with the third smallest of the stitched from the stylish shapes. So it doesn't take too much product. Steve, I'm going to hand these to you. I'm used to having my whole counter at home. So that is, I'm going to put this up in the corner. And then I got this one from Kathy. I made this one. And then while I was out here, I made another one. And then I'll show you one more. This is using the same paper with different DSP. This one is Sweet Sorbet. And the paper is Fresh Freesia. I hear the kids coming up the steps, so I think Amy and Sean and Ryan are coming back. And then inside, I put this strip of paper down here, but it's a super sweet card. So I'll put this off to the side. So what you need for this card is the card base is 4 1/4 by 5. And for the designer series, is one pretty?
Paper.
What are people saying, Steve?
So, mostly just introductions and tell me where they're from. Kathleen is on from Florida, and Bob was talking about Florida, how beautiful it is down there right now. We went to the opposite extreme. We came for the snow, and we had beautiful snow this morning. We were watching it out of our big window that's behind Beth, and it was really pretty. The trees were just covered with about an inch of snow on all the branches. So yeah, it was really nice. So we've had lots of responses ranging from 14 hours to 10 hours for the amount of time it took us to get here on the 9.5-hour drive. And how much time was it, Beth?
Well, we're pretty quick. We stopped twice. We were not stopped more than 5 or 10 minutes, went to the bathroom, got gas, and kept going. So 2 stops, 8 to 10 minutes each, 11.5 hours. It was quick. It was
actually,
awesome.
Wait. It was
no, 9.5 hours. 9.5 hours.
Yes, because we were driving a little bit faster than the Google had anticipated.
When Steve was driving,
yes.
Right?
Well, hey, Nebraska was 75 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, so that made it easier.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the designer series paper. We know everyone has lots of designer series paper, and it's good, like I said, if it coordinates with the other side. This is also from the Flowers and More. So you're just going to cut it at 4 inches, and the paper's already 12 inches long. And then we have graphics for this. Have you been looking at graphics?
I have not been doing any graphics whatsoever.
Goodness. We're a little distracted.
Okay, so the cut card base was 4.5 by 5,
4 1/4
by 5.5.
And now we're on the designer series
Okay.
paper.
And it is 4 inches by 12 inches scored at 3 1/4 and 8.5.
Just a second. Sean, is Amy going to come say hi when she's ready? Okay.
She just needs to take her coat off.
Okay. Amy and Sean and Ryan just walked in, so she's going to make a cameo visit here. Okay, so we scored it at 3 1/4 and 8.5. And it just folds together like this. And I'm going to go ahead and put the liquid glue on the back of the designer series paper.
Here I was about to brag about how your glue actually worked. I jinxed you.
When you were off skiing the other day and I made this other card, I learned something about Colorado. I brought a brand new glue bottle with me, and when I opened it up, the pressure, and we didn't fly, we drove out here, but the pressure from the altitude squirted glue all over. So if you looked at that other card I made, you might have noticed it was not my best effort as far as
that same thing happened with my yogurts that I brought out in the cooler.
Did they pop?
They didn't pop, but they were all inflated like they wanted to.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're at altitude now. I went to the rec center along with Beth and Ryan and Sean and Amy today. They've got a wonderful. We're in Avon, Colorado, which is where Beaver Creek ski resort is, and it's not that big of a town, but they have this wonderful rec center. So I decided I was going to swim laps, and I got about the 4th lap in, and suddenly I was really tired and I was breathing super hard, and I decided it's got to be the altitude. That must be why. So
Amy's here. Yay!
Hi.
Amy and Sean and Ryan were out shopping.
Yes.
Did you? Let me tell them what I'm doing, and then you tell them what you guys have been doing. Okay. This is a piece of basic white cardstock, and it measures 3 3/4 by 5. And then this little piece of designer series paper down here is 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. And then I stamped that little butterfly from the Easter Bunny set. I'm going to glue that in here, and that's going to be the center. And then I have another strip. This is 1 inch by 4 inches. And I'm going to turn it to the other side and glue this on.
okay, let me go over those measurements one more time because you were going really fast. So the basic white inside is 3 3/4 by 5.
Correct.
And then the DSP that you put, the strip was 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4.
Right.
And then you had a smaller strip that was 1 inch by 4 inch.
And look, I didn't bring scissors to Colorado, so I wrapped it around the side. On one of them, I bent it around the side and tore it off. But that's what you do when you don't have the right things.
Just a little cockeyed. We need to move a little bit that way.
Okay, so he says, I'm a perfectionist. Look who's being a perfectionist now.
Just
Okay.
helping you.
Yeah. And then for the scalloped, this is the third largest from the stylish shapes, and this is the third small from the smallest. Fourth from the smallest for the layering circles. Okay. So welcome, Amy. We're
Thank
glad
you.
you're here.
Yes, I'm very glad to be here.
So what did you guys do shopping?
Well, we went to Sun Ski Sports.
Did you walk from here?
Yes, we walked from here. It was
That's
only,
super nice, isn't it, that you
Oh,
can
yeah.
walk around?
It was like 10 minutes, 10-minute walk. And we got Sean a bunch of new ski gear. So we got new pants and a new ski jacket.
Oh my
and,
goodness,
Yeah.
what color is it?
Well, the pants are black.
Of course, he'll only wear
Everything
black,
is
won't he?
But the jacket is blue and black, so I did
Oh,
convince
that's
him
nice.
to get a little out of his comfort zone with colors. But then we got some winter boots, some snow boots for when we visit Iowa in the wintertime.
You don't get much snow in Texas, do you?
No, but we did have an ice storm this year, and he had to go out in in his hiking boots we were knocking ice off the trees so that they wouldn't topple over, because that's actually a pretty big problem when it gets really icy. They had about 1 inch of ice, so we had to go out and knock the ice off the trees, and he had to wear his hiking boots, and they weren't that effective because it was too cold for that.
Well, it's good that he has boots now.
Yes.
You know, he did grow up in Iowa, so he did have boots back in the day. And then did you find anything on your shopping trip?
No, I had bought some mittens the other day because I thought they would be warmer than gloves for skiing, which I think they were actually. I wore them yesterday. That was nice. But mostly we were there for him, which is unusual. They're usually shopping for me.
Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of the liquid glue, and for these circles, I'm just centering it on this DSP layer. So I want half above and half below. There we go. Now, Amy does not have a lot of designer series paper, but I know most of you have lots and lots of it. So I hope that you'll get out your designer series paper and think about that. You can make 3 of these cards with each 12 by 12 sheet that you have. And we are doing prize patrol tonight. So here are the choices. This is card number 1. This is card number 2, and this is card number 3. So you can put in the comments which card you'd prefer. And have been people putting Prize Patrol in?
They have been putting Prize Patrol in.
Do you want to explain?
I just, I was busy doing the banners,
He's busy
and now I'm
doing
back
lots.
looking at comments, and I'm trying to catch up. But several people said hi, Amy.
Oh.
And we have a couple of people saying they like the cars, that they're cute. And if you noticed, I moved really fast a second ago because your losing power light came up in the notice.
No, we almost lost power.
But it just goes to show you I can move fast when I need to.
So another thing I wanted to remind you, today is the last day of celebration, and if you want to buy Stampin' Up! At a discount, it's the best way to do it. For $99, you actually pick out 175 of whatever you want. And I've had 2 new team members in the last 12 hours, so I would love to have you join our team. You get Steve, too. He's a bonus, right?
On video and chat and all of those things.
Oh, you're not going to visit people?
I didn't sign up for that part. There's limits to what an assistant demonstrator will do.
Yes, and we see Amy usually for a couple of weeks in the fall, and we actually get to go down and visit them for a night, I think, in March.
Yeah. Yep.
So Steve has a business trip down in Austin, and Amy and Sean are getting ready to move into their new house.
Yes.
Tell them what's in your attic.
Oh, a raccoon.
At the new house.
A raccoon.
Yeah.
We saw its little footprints the other day,
So Amy and Sean haven't gotten to move into the house yet, but the raccoon has.
Yes.
The raccoon is living rent-free in our new house.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get rid of it before it has babies in the attic.
So when we're down there in April, Sean was explaining to me the order of things. Pest control
Mm-hmm.
to come before you move in.
Yes.
And it's not just raccoon in the attic. They have other friends. Tell them about your other friends.
It's a common household pest in Texas. It's a scorpion.
And
if
of
you
course
don't know
I said, what's a
what
scorpion?
that is, it's sort of a lobster-looking insect that has pincers and a tail that's got a stinger on it, and it really hurts if you get stung. I've never personally been stung, but my parents have, so it's not pleasant. Especially for new construction. They pop up a lot.
So they moved into the house before you did, but yeah. So
They're going to move out of the house before they move in, too.
Yes, definitely. We'll get it taken care of before that.
Yeah.
Before we move in.
Well, that'll be exciting to see your new house.
Okay, so everyone...
Is everyone in on Price Patrol?
Yes. The problem is I haven't started Prize Patrol yet, so you two keep
Oops.
chatting.
Oh.
I'll be with you in just a minute.
What about skiing? So Amy learned to ski last year on our trip.
Yeah.
And the first couple days of skiing is always the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
But now this was day 4 yesterday.
Yeah.
First time this year.
Yes.
How'd it go?
The morning went great. I was able to stay up the whole time. And
You didn't fall at all in the morning?
No, not.
Oh, that's great.
But I made up for it in the afternoon. Because I wiped pretty bad 2 times. So that was great. I was ready to be done yesterday afternoon, but I'm going to ski school tomorrow. So hopefully that'll help.
Were you ever ready to throw your skis and poles? Steve, when I was teaching him, he was throwing his skis and poles.
No, they just sort of flew whenever I crashed.
Did they come off your boots when you crashed?
Well, one ski came off when I crashed the first time. The second time I crashed, nothing came off. The poles might have fallen off, but the skis didn't.
It's hard when the ski falls off and you're farther down the mountain and you're like crawling up the mountain trying to go get your ski. Did that happen?
No, actually, the first crash was pretty bad. I don't know if I was airborne at one point or had flipped over or something, but I definitely slid. Luckily, my face was covered, but I kind of slid on my face, and I think a bunch of people stopped and they were like, "Are you okay?" And somebody had my pole, so I don't know at what point I lost the pole.
Oh no!
The ski wasn't that far away, but
We call that a yard sale when everything goes flying in every direction.
Well, I am glad that you're intact and still ready to go do this again
Yes,
tomorrow.
When I was laying there, like, okay, I crashed and was like, nothing feels broken. I didn't feel anything pop. I didn't feel anything break. I'm glad my face was covered because it probably would have gotten scratched up. But yeah, I was glad that I wasn't hurt seriously.
Yep.
Last year when I fell, there was a great big pop in the air. So we've talked a lot about not wanting to hear any popping
No popping.
sounds.
Popping is bad while you're skiing.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone, please, if you haven't already, put in hashtag Prize Patrol. We're ready to do our drawing. So if you would please go ahead and do that, that would be great.
And we will be back next week at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll be at home. And we have some fabulous card to show you.
This is the last drawing of February. Is there anyone who's not eligible because they've already won?
You know, that list is at home. You know who you are, right?
So let us know if you've already won this month. Here goes the drawing.
Okay, thanks for joining us tonight, everyone.
And we're going
How many
around the
people are
horn.
in
There's
the prize
18 people. It's a good showing tonight. And the winner is Diana Knapp.
Diana Knapp, you haven't won for a very long time. So go ahead and send me your mailing address, and I will get that mailed to you next week. Also, let me know if you want 1, 2, or 3. And everyone else, thank you so much.
She says she likes the middle one best, but they are all nice.
Okay. I will put in a new white piece. See, this is where I got glue all over. This was part of the glue debacle from the being at altitude. So I'll give you a new inside piece. But Amy, good luck with your house moving, and we're excited to see the new house.
Yeah.
And when are you coming to Iowa? Do you know? Is it fair time or in the fall?
Definitely in fair time.
Fair time.
So August sometime.
Okay. The
Good.
Iowa State Fair's meeting, so we can't wait to show it to
Yeah,
you.
I've been to their grounds for craft shows.
Yeah, craft shows. We've been to 2 shows. So, anyway, thanks everybody. Happy next week. Bye-bye.
Hi. We're not